Let's talk about Will Howard leaving Kansas State. And, he was actually in transfer portal before, of course, the news this morning as we're recording this, Colin Klein going to Texas A&M. Will Howard was in the transfer portal before that news even. So I think he was looking to go. This is a talented guy. He has arm strength. He has size. He can move a little bit. This is a really, really, really good football player. Some key fits that I see, right? I know USC's contacted him. I think he would look really, really good in the USC jersey. Wisconsin and Nebraska, I think, have him as like their number one quarterbacks on their board. So Nebraska, I think Nebraska might dump the biggest NIL bag to date to get a guy like Will Howard. So
Well, you saw your Matt Rule say it cost $1.5 to $2 million to
yeah,
get a quarterback. They might have to spend that on Will Howard.
yeah, exactly. So Miami, I see as a potential spot as well. I know that they've reached out to him, I believe. So this guy, look, in terms of pure talent and what we know he is, I kind of have him as like the second or third best quarterback in the portal. Like he is
Yep.
really good. I think he's really good.
I don't think that's crazy at all. I think you throw him in with a guy like a healthy Riley Leonard, right? Guys that are, impact players at Power Five football that have played winning football in big time games. This was a year ago where they beat TCU in the championship because of Will Howard played a fantastic game. You saw how well he played after the first quarter against Texas, against a really, really good front there. And to be honest, like, yes, Colin Klein is a really, really impressive coach. We talked about that earlier with the Mike Elko hiring. But Will Howard does it too. I mean, this is not a very talented roster they have. They lost two NFL players on that offense from a year ago, and they still produced at a pretty high level there. DJ Giddens was the big factor in that. I get that. Obviously, Avery Johnson came in, and that's the reality of it for Kansas State is like, if you're going to pick one, you got to pick one quarterback out of the two. Will Howard's done a lot for you. You appreciate what he did for you. But, Avery Johnson is the future of that program for the next couple of years. It's hard to keep both. And Will Howard's going to make a lot of money and be very successful wherever he ends up. I think mutually beneficial for both parties involved.
Yeah, I agree. So I think another one I just thought about, I think Auburn. Did I already say Auburn? I think I might have already said Auburn. I had Louisville on there, but then of course we can cross that out after what's his name is officially transferring over there. Tyler Shuck from Texas Tech.
Yeah.
I had Michigan State on there. I still have the feeling that Aiden Childs is gonna go to Michigan State, but if Aiden Childs ends up not going to
Well,
Michigan State, I think Will Howard can
yeah.
be pretty solid there as well.
Well, he
So
goes basically if Childs does go and he were to follow Childsdale, it would pretty much be the same thing last year where you had Will Howard play and then Childs, like Avery Johnson did come in for his run stuff and get him on the field as well, which would be kind of funny. But yeah, I think those are good spots for him. I think Georgia's a really low key spot. I mean, I see some similarities with him and Carson Beck, especially if Beck leaves. I get the feeling.
Beck, I get the feeling Carson Beck's coming back.
I think more and more of that is kind of coming to fruition. But I think that the point here is he's gonna have options and really good options. I don't think he's quite as high end talented as Cameron Ward is, or maybe with the future of Childs and Dante Moore in the portal, but he's going to give you 12 games of just really, really good production. And that is very valuable at college football, even at the high level. Michigan's a team. If McCarthy leaves, I can throw them in there as well as teams that need quarterbacks. You're kind of hearing the same teams over and over again, but that's the reality of the situation is like we have 8 to 10 quarterback needy teams at the top level of college football. And there'll be suitors for a guy like Will Howard for sure.
Absolutely.